History made Wednesday in Bethel, the small but mighty hub city of the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta region. This trip, the White House says, marks the first ever visit to Bethel by a First Lady. But what could the funding she's talking about actually do for Alaskans? A first for a First Lady, an official visit to Bethel. First Lady Jill Biden and other state and federal officials traveling to the city of about 6,000. And with a speech at Bethel High School, touting the Biden administration's efforts to improve broadband internet access in Alaska. A crowd packing the gym and celebrating the visit by Dr. Biden, who was introduced by a familiar face, Bethel native and Democratic Congresswoman Mary Peltola, who won her first full term in the U.S. House in November.
Please give her a Bethel, a Kuskokwim, a Yukon-Kuskokwim region welcome, Dr. Jill Biden.
Biden herself speaking primarily on the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, a bipartisan piece of legislation signed into law by her husband back in November of 2021.
With high-speed internet, you'll have better access to critical health care, new educational tools, and remote job opportunities. It will change lives and it will save lives. And it will make our world a little brighter and a little more beautiful.
The bill allocates billions of dollars to cities across the country for various infrastructure projects, with approximately $65 billion dedicated to ensuring, quote, that every American has access to reliable high-speed internet. That's according to the White House. Now, Alaska, the administration says, is eventually expected to receive a minimum allocation of at least $100 million to help ensure high-speed internet coverage. That is part of $3.9 billion for nearly 900 different Alaskan projects identified for funding within the bill.
Over $100 million here in the YK Delta.
The Office of the First Lady also says the Biden administration has, to date, awarded $386 million in tribal broadband connectivity program grants to 21 Alaska projects, with about $125 million of that going toward 2 broadband infrastructure projects in the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta region. But about a year and a half since the signing of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, White House documents also show that Alaska has received just $5 million through the administration's Broadband Equity, Access, and Deployment Program, which is part of the bill. That money is being used for identifying unserved and underserved communities, developing an Alaska Office of Broadband, creating a 5-year plan called Connect North, producing a climate threat assessment, and further researching barriers to accessibility. Secretary of the Interior Deb Haaland joining in on this visit as well, marking her second official trip to Alaska and her first since withdrawing a Trump-era land exchange between the DOI and King Cove Corporation, which would have facilitated a road in that area. As of now, both the First Lady and the President are in Japan for the Group of 7 summit taking place in Hiroshima.